used to get my nails done every few weeks, and I used to do be-up on them. But last year I decided to just stop getting the be-up treatments because I feel like my nails were getting a bit thin, even though it's like a builder. I feel like my nails, I don't know, they got like a bit damaged, so I felt like taking a break. But I figured that maybe I can do my nails at home. I've already, they still look kind of bad, but I already did a little bit of the prepping. So all I need to do now is just apply the nail polish. But what I wanted to talk about today is actually sobriety. And I'm currently 26, and I stopped drinking when I was 23. So I'm already sober for a little over 3 years now. And honestly, I don't think, well, never say never, of course, but the way that I'm feeling right now, I never want to go back to drinking because I just feel so good without. But let's just start at the beginning and yeah, we'll go from there. So I started drinking, I think around maybe 16 or 17 years old, which in Europe is pretty normal. But yeah, I had like my drinking phase and my party phase, I guess, pretty early already. Um, because when I was like 17, every weekend we'd have like house parties or we'd just hang out at someone's place and we would drink. So I feel like it was a weekly occurrence at that time, when I was still in high school. And it was really fun. Looking back on it, I had such a great time and I made such lovely memories. But there came a point where I feel like the hangovers kind of started to take over. And I feel like as you get older, the hangovers they get like worse and worse. I don't know if everyone has that, but I definitely did. Physically, but also mentally. It was never really a problem for me, as in, I never drank when I was alone. Don't think I ever have. I just wanted to drink with friends and like have fun. Um, but I've never had a problem with drinking, as in, that's the reason that I stopped drinking. It's just, yeah, I guess more mentally the reason that I stopped. I think a little after COVID, I started realizing that actually the drinking was like weighing me down a bit, as in the hangovers got so heavy for me, especially mentally. I would always text my friends like, did I do something wrong, or like did I say something weird? Because often I got blackout drunk pretty easily. I feel like I don't really handle my alcohol that well. Um, so I always had like the worst anxiety. And so I already kind of got like sober curious, I guess you could say, because I was like, oh, some mornings when I woke up, I was like, I never want to drink again. And then obviously after that, I would drink again because I just found it so hard to not drink, and it's so normalized in our society that to drink when you're going out, going to a party. So I feel like it was pretty hard for me to turn down a drink. And then once I'd have like one or two glasses of wine, I would obviously want more, at least obviously to me, because I feel like I realized later that I never drank like to taste a nice drink or like for the vibe of it, but I simply drank to get drunk. And so anytime I knew that I was like going out or going to drink that night, I was already prepared to go like all the way. I guess that's like not really a healthy way to see it, but I've always been kind of like an all or nothing person. I'm really trying to be like more balanced now, but yeah, with drinking I also had that I was just, I would have one drink, maybe two, and then I would have too many, and then I'd wake up, forget everything that happened, and yeah, get like the craziest anxiety. There was even a point, and this was, I think, my breaking point. There was even a point where I made a note for myself on my phone, which was like a reminder for me to not drink, or like at least only drink one or two glasses, because at that point I was just so fed up with the anxiety and like feeling so terrible about myself, and like repeating the same cycle every single time, because it was so tiring. Anytime I would like kind of mess up and drink too much, I would feel so terrible about myself, and I'd like hate myself at the moment, and it was just not really a nice place to be in. Where other people, they can just drink a lot and get drunk and they'd be like fine the next day. I just couldn't. The last time I drank, I even it was even so bad that I like was in this self-hate kind of cycle for over a week, and I cried every single day because I just felt so terrible. I don't know, I finally realized that I just didn't want to live like that. And it was actually perfect timing, because I was just about to start 75 hard, and this was in 2023, so this was 3 years ago. I think the first layer, by the way, is dry, kind of, so maybe I can put a second one on. You don't really see a lot of it, but maybe it's nice that it's like natural. But anyway, in 2023, I really wanted to do 75 hard. I just wanted to like have a challenge. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to lose a little weight at the time, so that was one of my motivations to do the challenge. And that challenge, the 75 hard, also means that for 75 days you cannot drink any alcohol. The 75 hard challenge has a couple of different rules. Like you have to stick to one specific diet, you have to do two workouts a day, one inside and one outside. You have to read 10 pages of a non fictional book. Um, and there was some other rules like drinking a lot of water and stuff. Um, but to be honest, the not drinking actually was the least of my problems with 75 hard, because once I finally had a rule at that moment, I just completely let go of the issues that I had before, as in like maybe taking one glass or two glasses, And once the option for a glass of wine or like one drink was off the table for a while, I just realized it was so much easier without alcohol. And honestly, I had zero problem stopping. And I think what especially helped me, um, not even wanting to drink, was because I was so down from the last time that I drank, which was like 1 or 2 days before my challenge even started. That I was even like, I don't want this stuff anymore. Because I don't know, I just feel like alcohol makes you such a different person. It's like really scary, honestly, to me how different you can become with alcohol. When I drank and when I got drunk, I was like the worst version of myself. And I would get very paranoid and would also get like really annoying or sad or mad, or yeah, it was just not a good time, honestly. But yeah, I did 75 hard and it was honestly great. And I think it was only the first few weeks where I had to like defend myself a little bit when I didn't want to drink, as in, I still had some like birthdays and parties coming up, but I feel like with 75 hard, I kind of had like a protective layer, being able to say, no, I cannot drink because I'm doing a challenge. I did a second layer. I think it looks kind of nice. I don't know if I'll do a third. Maybe I'll just leave it like this. So, like I was saying, I feel like 75 hard was kind of like a shield for me. And at the time, I think I really needed the shield. I am a recovering people pleaser, and I found it so hard to like turn it down. Like if someone wanted me to drink, I found it so hard to say no. Um, so having like something to hide behind, which was my challenge, worked magic for me for those 75 days. And yeah, at the beginning, I did get like uh, some comments like, "Oh, why are you not drinking? Are you sure you're not even gonna take one?" Or, trying to get me to drink a little bit. But that didn't last very long. I feel like people got used to it pretty quickly, and yeah, I feel like if you're around the right people, they will never try to pressure you into doing anything you don't want to do. So I feel like I have the right people around me that were very supportive and yeah, just kind of like backed off, and didn't bother trying to get me to drink anymore. And what I realized when I stopped drinking was I was never really a party person, because I used to go out every weekend and I wanted to go out every weekend and I thought it was so fun. And it was, honestly. We still like bring up some old memories of like going out and having such fun nights. So I mean, like, I'm really happy that I did have my party phase. But yeah, I now that I'm sober, I never go out anymore. I don't like clubbing. I don't like big crowds. I just like to be chill, and I've become kind of like a grandma, to be honest, and I'm totally fine with it. I think there was a very big shift in my life when I quit drinking alcohol, because a lot of the things that I was doing were kind of like revolving around it. As in, it wasn't like such a big thing for me, but a lot of my social life was like going out and going to bars and having a glass of wine. So I feel like a lot did shift because I stayed home more often. And to be honest, I don't mind at all, because now I get to fill my time with such different things. Because usually when I would drink, I would always like, when I knew that I was going out on, let's say, Saturday, I would block off the whole Sunday because I knew I'd be hungover and I'd feel like shit. But now it's so much fun having like a whole weekend to myself, as in like I can, if I want to, I can sleep in, but if I want to, I can get up early and I feel nice and rested, and I just have so much more time to do things that I actually really like. There's just so many things that you can do without drinking that will fill your cup completely. And I also noticed that now that I'm doing things that don't include alcohol, I just feel so much more fulfilled and energized when I leave the function. As in, normally when I would drink, I just feel so empty afterwards, and I just feel so, yeah, so bad. And not only that evening, but also the days after. And yeah, like I said, I don't have to schedule in hangovers anymore. I mean, the weekend is all mine. I can go to a cafe, I can work on my hobbies, I can meet up with a friend, go for a walk, do anything. And one thing that just instantly makes me feel so much better is imagining, for example, on a Sunday when I wake up, I'm like, sometimes, when you're sleeping late, you can be a little bit tired, but I'm like, at least I'm not hungover. And I feel so incredibly grateful at that time. So, to kind of just wrap that all together, because I feel like I've been rambling for a little bit, but I did have my party phase and it was super fun, and I really enjoyed my time most of the time when I wasn't hungover. And I mean, the memories are really, really fun, but something shifted for me, especially with the 75 hard, because I just had something to like hide behind, where it was way easier for me to make the decision not to drink, because before that I just find it so difficult to either turn down a drink or to leave it at like two glasses. So the 75 hard was definitely such a good way for me to finally quit drinking. And like I said, after, or like during the 75 hard, I didn't miss alcohol a single bit. And even now, I'm 3 years later, and I've never, ever, ever in these 3 years missed having a sip of alcohol. I think I can even say the opposite. Like, I'm so happy that I don't drink anymore, because to me, honestly, and of course, to each their own, but for me personally, I just really see alcohol as like poison right now. And that's just my opinion. That's just how I view it. But I feel like it's such a scary thing. It's very, very normalized. It's so easy to get, so easy to gift, and it just makes you a completely different person, and it makes you just not think straight, um, and it makes you feel terrible. At least it did for me. And you know what I also noticed? I noticed when I stopped drinking, I just got so much closer to myself, as in, I could finally listen to the cues of my body more. I guess now I can feel better what my body needs. And I feel like when I still drank, there was such a big gap between my body and my mind, if that makes any sense. And I also noticed I have so much more peace in my life. And I just, look, I am still anxious. I'm still an anxious girly, but at least I'm not anxious because of alcohol and because of like blacking out. The way that I'm looking at it right now, I don't ever see myself going back to drinking, because I know what it's like on the other side. And it is so, so, so much better than it was with alcohol. And now I just can't even imagine myself having a drink, honestly. And of course, you could think like, oh, maybe now you can try doing one or two, but I just don't really see the point in that because I don't like alcohol. I don't like the taste of it. I'd rather get like a lemonade or a soda or like a mocktail, and that'll be just fine. Or like a dessert or something, you know. Um, I, yeah, I just drank to get drunk, and I just don't like the feeling of being drunk anymore. So, yeah, that's just an easy decision now. Everyone's journey is different, so to each their own. If you want to drink, you can drink, obviously. This is just my personal journey and my personal take on alcohol. If you're sober curious, like I was before, I would definitely say go for it. Try to maybe stop drinking for like a month or make it a fun challenge like I did. Um, and I think what was really important for me was that in my challenge the focus wasn't on alcohol because it was on working out and on like eating clean, and that made the not drinking so much easier, I guess, because there was no focus on the drinks, and that made me just completely forget. So yeah, that was a little bit about my journey with sobriety in my 20s. I did my nails as well, so thank you so much for hanging out with me while I was doing my nails. Maybe we can do it another time and talk about something else. um, Let me know if you have any questions or if you need some help. If you're curious about sobriety in your 20s, 30s, 40s, maybe even before, I would love to be there for you. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Bye.